Counter-Strike drama is back at the major, and oh, this one is a sad one. It's a tough one. We've had PC crashes throughout this tournament, but this one happens at the worst possible time. For those who need a bit of context, this was an elimination match. The winner goes through to playoffs, the loser goes home, and Virtus.pro were already one map up. We're 11-11, we're 2 rounds away from the end of the game, and VP have just taken the B site on Inferno. This is a bomb site and a map where it is very hard for the CTs to retake, especially when they have this few nades. And the AWP is especially good at just holding long-range angles and locking this in. And can you guess what happens?
G2 scramble bodies over. Everything is on the line for G2 here. Both teams, their money at the end of the tether, at the end of the rope. The winner of this is teed up to win the map.
Jame? Has he crashed? He's crashed. Oh no, in a pivotal round. He's at the back of the site in the open. That was the opener post one. That's a dream scenario. G2 have been given road to run. Can they close the gap? Mir hits his. It's 1-for-1. It's only Flit. And G2 miraculously saving themselves yet again.
Divine intervention.
Absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. And in case you need a bit more context, once damage has been done in a round in Counter-Strike, they cannot restart the round. That is in the rules. So in case you're confused why they wouldn't try and restart, try and put them back in this position, those are the rules right now. This is what we have to deal with. And this is a scenario where this AWP on this long-range angle down here would do absolute work, especially when the CTs have no nades. It was a beautifully called round by Jame, and they end up losing. And of course, the other thing was the money was so tight that the loser of that round was going to be in some trouble for their economy. That's exactly what happened. VP had this buy left, only one AK. The CT still had money. They went on to win the map, and it did go to a third map. But at that point, I mean, maybe your mental was just a little bit affected. VP go on to lose, and they get eliminated, and G2 advance to the playoffs. Absolutely crazy. And the other thing to consider is G2 actually won both pistol rounds here, and VP had to come back into the gun rounds. It felt like VP were doing better in the gun rounds on this map, and then that one round seems to ruin it all. And in case you're curious as to whether or not that round would have been won by VP, or if G2 might have still had a chance in the retake, m0NESY himself from G2 was asked about this scenario afterwards. Here's what he said.
No, like Rasmus also said, like, if we don't kill one guy, then we're gonna save. But we killed.
If we don't kill one guy, we're gonna save. And I don't think Jay would have died if his PC didn't crash and he goes out into the open.
Him somehow, but I didn't really know until someone told me that he crashed. Like I didn't really know. I thought he. Yeah,
I didn't know that he crashed either.
I thought he was overpicking from triple. And was
They didn't even know he crashed. And listen, G2 can't have known this. That they just played the game to the best of their ability. But man, absolutely brutal. In case you're wondering why this happened, it is apparently an NVIDIA driver issue which has been happening throughout the tournament, and honestly is something that should have been fixed. Oh, I've got my DMs up here. I should probably not have those, but I don't think there's anything too bad, so we can just minimize that. But yeah, absolutely devastating. And PGL apparently are trying to work with NVIDIA to fix this issue. Now, of course, we have memes about this straight afterwards. The PC crash graffiti is the one that has been called for from a lot of people. A lot of fun, but also, I mean, I can't not just be sad in my heart of hearts for Jame and for VP, who put so much effort in, who grind so hard to be here, and then to be eliminated in that fashion is brutal, because as you basically heard m0NESY say, VP would have almost certainly won that round at least. We don't know if they'd have gone on to win the game, but frankly, I believe they probably would have. I think they were playing the better Counter-Strike on that map. I think they were looking better in the gun rounds. Whether or not you agree, it's irrelevant. It's still just a really brutal situation. Weirdly enough, by the way, on the PGL channel, they have decided to cut off the end of this game. You can see the video here. You can't actually see the rounds where the crash happened. I guess they're sort of just trying to, like, not have that on the record, which was a bit weird, but hey, we'll move on from that. And here was the interview with Jame afterwards. This was hard to hear. Honestly, so hard to hear.
I don't know.
He was asked here about how he stayed so calm and composed throughout, because Jame is someone, if you don't know, who is always incredibly professional, incredibly calm, a really great guy, you can tell from everything he does.
Just me, but I'm not calm in my heart. I am very sad. It's bad when you lost, but it's part of cyber life, and we need to go forward. If good, like we should be professional in this situation.
I mean, what a class act, firstly. And secondly, hearing someone like James say, I am sad in my heart. This is a guy that is normally so stoic, almost, is the way I'd describe him. And you can see even there, on the outside, he's still trying to be that. But, like, oh my God. There has to be so many feelings going on there. Feeling like what would have happened if that crash doesn't happen at a random round, at a random time that just ruins everything for you. Yeah, man, it's hard to hear that. It's really hard to hear. And by the way, that wasn't the only thing that went wrong for them. When they went to the third map,
Down to the wire. The bomb dropped and gets away from
there's been a bug in Counter-Strike where the jumping sometimes seems weird and your jump doesn't fully allow you to get up into position.
the Heaven player, and this is a last-second plant. This is a very VP round. This could be them trying to bring themselves back into this game. And it's all eyes on Fame in the clutch, up into the heavens.
And that just completely ruins his timing.
Oh,
And then he makes noise as well. He was making what looked like a great play.
man. Dropping down. Fame, they're running at him.
And he just gets screwed because of it. And you see, I mean, listen, Fame is not quite Jame. He couldn't quite keep his composure in the same way, and who the hell could blame him?
Back into this game.
But again, just look at this position. I think he has a really good chance of winning this. If he jumps up, Hunter just looks away as it looks like he was about to jump up here. That could have been a free kill in the back, a great post plant, and yes, they were already down 5-0. Maybe they were already affected by the previous map, but at the same time, that could have maybe been around to get you back into it if he wins a big clutch. Instead, it doesn't happen. They go on to lose. There were some crazy conspiracy theories around this. Apparently, if you don't know what a severe G4 geomagnetic storm is, basically, it's some stuff that comes from the sun and can apparently flip the bits in your PC to make it crash. So people were speculating that maybe some random, like, radiation basically from the sun hit his PC at just the wrong time, and it was genuinely some mad sort of divine intervention or whatever you want to call it. I don't think that's true because these crashes have been happening throughout the tournament. We've seen quite a few of them. I think it's just a bug that honestly should have been fixed and should have been fixed way sooner. The question as to what to do in these scenarios is an interesting one, though, because I totally understand you can't really restart the round from the start, right? Because damage has already been done, the round's already in play. That would be unfair in and of itself. I think the only thing that has been suggested that maybe could work is when there's a crash like this, Valve could try and implement something in-game that would maybe just automatically pause the game and automatically make sure that if someone crashes, the game gets paused and you can try and restart it from that exact point. But at the same time, I don't know if that would work in this scenario because he never actually gets off of the server. I don't know how quickly the PC crashing to the pause happening can happen because he crashes, but clearly he still weirdly moves out into the open after crashing, and it's not an immediate crash. So I don't know if that would work either. All I know is this sucks, and there's a couple more things to go through. Firstly, Taz, the coach of G2, saying afterwards, "It's a pity. We had the same situation the day before, and at a worse moment, winky face." Some people were rubbed the wrong way by this, but I think this is Taz just being a jokester. By the way, don't know why Twitter's asking me if this translation was accurate. I don't speak Polish. I have no idea. So we're already going from translated information. But hey, it is clearly, I think, a little tongue-in-cheek thing because, as I was saying, that the crashes have happened a lot. It actually happened to G2. If we rewind a bit here, I think it's Nexa in this position who ends up there having a crash of his own. So you can see clearly his PC crashed, but this was only at 4-1, and somehow G2 actually come back to win this round.
And so Monacy provides the kills that are the turning point of this round. And now it's just Queenix in a world of hurt.
What a relief for G2. Imagine how that round would have felt if Nexa...
Oh, Hugo, don't say it. It's wild Hugo and Harry were casting both, and Hugo goes, imagine how that would have felt. Well, sadly, VP don't have to imagine. And I'll leave you with Jame and his final words, because, again, I really think the main thing to take away from this is just that Jame is an absolute class act.
Well, commiserations to you and VP. You now exit the tournament. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the fans watching at home, the VP and the Jame Time fans?
Hello everyone, thank you for supporting. We lost, but I think we'll be better in next major. Sorry for our bad game versus other team, but G2 really deserves this win. Thank you again.
Jame, I don't think...
Absolutely incredible for him to just come out and say that afterwards. You can tell he's hurting inside. You just can. But fair play to him. Again, class act. And yeah, I hope that that's the one thing we take away from this. I hope we see VP back and hopefully winning again, because they deserve to. I think they have played very well. If anything, I would say they probably deserved to win here and be in the playoffs. But what will be. Everything hopefully will come good for them in the long run. Absolutely crazy scenario, and something that could only happen in esports, and something that, I don't know, it sucks that it's unique to esports. Like, this could never happen in football, right? Unless, I don't know, the ball somehow got punctured when it's rolling towards the goal, but that ain't gonna happen. Absolute madness. Still, we got the playoffs coming up. I am so excited. They should be great, so can't wait to get into those. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.